Brett Favre, the missiles are in the air for him in the civil litigation in Mississippi. I mentioned this at the end of PFT Live today, but I didn't have a chance to really talk about it the way I wanted to. I was just filling the last couple of minutes after we finished the Dan Patrick interview, full disclosure. But let's set the stage here. Brett Favre allegedly pestered, harassed, and I don't mean harassed in a sexually harassed way, just was very persistent in trying to get available funding for a couple of different things, allegedly. University of Southern Mississippi Volleyball Center. He had some sort of a speaking deal, publicity deal, PR deal. They paid him the money. He paid it back. At one point, he was sued for the interest on the money he was paid before he paid it back. But you've got the volleyball thing. You've got money that Prevacus received. It was this company that he was involved in that was doing concussion research and coming up with some sort of magic elixir to cure concussions or something like that. I don't know. That's just the background. The bottom line is Brett Favre is accused by Mississippi authorities of being involved in this effort to grab federal welfare money that had been earmarked for Mississippi. He denies everything. If you haven't heard, I need to say it over and over again, lest I be sued. He denies everything. He denies wrongdoing. He's innocent until proven guilty. He's been accused of no crime. This is a civil lawsuit aimed at just recovering money. And he tried his damnedest to get dismissed from the civil lawsuit. Took it all the way to the Mississippi Supreme Court. Every step of the way, the decision was, no, you're in this thing. Now, if you're in it, at some point, you have to show up at a lawyer's office, go into a conference room, court reporter's in there with that little machine where they press the buttons and the stuff comes out and nobody knows what the hell it is except the court reporter. And Brett Favre will put his hand in the air and he will be asked, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And I heard it so many times I can recite it in my sleep. And he'll say, I do. And then even though the person sitting across from him will know full well who Brett Lorenzo Favre is, that lawyer will say, state your name. He will, and then it goes from there. And that's when it gets interesting, because Favre's lawyers have said he's not going to invoke the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. And that's fine, but if he answers questions and the lawyer keeps coming at him and he keeps answering questions and the lawyer boxes him in, I don't know, at some point he may want to flip that card. That may be his break glass in event of emergency option. But once you do that, you've lost the civil case. Because all they have to do is play that exchange to the jury, and it gives the plaintiff everything they need to convince the jury that what the plaintiff is saying is true. In a criminal case, it's inadmissible. In a civil case, it's fully admissible. So, if he testifies, he's going to have to answer questions about text messages we've seen, about other evidence that's come to light, allegations, just allegations, but he's going to be pressed on those. And I've taken and defended many depositions in the 19 years I practiced law, and that's what they call it. If you're the lawyer whose client is being questioned, you're defending the deposition. And your goal is not that you can really intervene, but you try to use objections in a way that gets a message through to your client to supplement the coaching that you engaged in before the thing started. Because beforehand, Brett Favre's lawyers will spend, I would assume, I would hope, a full day talking to him about this process and going through some sample questions and giving him an idea of what it's going to be like and trying to get him to understand the most fundamental thing. And I've had clients who understood this, and I've had clients who didn't. And I've had people I've questioned who didn't understand this. It's not a fight. It's not a competition. It's not swordplay where you're going in there and you're going to take on this lawyer. No. You are there to answer the questions you are asked, truthfully and completely, but only completely. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and nothing more. Don't say anything more than what you're asked. Say exactly what is necessary to answer the question truthfully and not a word more. And the hard part is there will always be something that the lawyer can take and characterize in a way that makes his or her case stronger. And there will be questions asked with an accusatory tone, and it will be set up in a way that may be a little misleading. And the witness will sense, oh boy, I got to say yes to this, but if I say yes, it's going to make my case weaker. And then the next question is going to be that, and I'm going to have to say yes to that. I better put a stop to this. That's when the thing goes off the rails for the person who's testifying, because once you decide to start arm wrestling with the lawyer, the next thing you know, you've committed perjury without realizing it. That's the danger for Brett Favre. To have that testosterone flow like it did on game day, to the point where he just says whatever he has to say to feel like he has won this session. At all times, he must be guided by the fundamental reality that if he fails to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, he has violated the law. And even if he never was going to be prosecuted for anything related to the allegations arising from welfare funds, he could be prosecuted for perjury. That's the danger. That's why the best move would be to just settle this. I hope he understands the risks he's taking. I mean, this is Carl Wallenda stuff. Do you remember Carl Wallenda? Tightrope walker, eventually not. There were a bunch of Wallendas that died in the 70s. But you're out there on that rope on your own with a big pole, and you better balance that pole just right. If the wrong gust of wind comes at the wrong time and you don't deal with it the right way, you are down and it is over. And it won't feel that way at the time. See, at the moment that you say that thing that is eventually going to get you prosecuted for perjury, no one swoops in. There's no alarm that goes off like the missiles are in the air. There's nothing like that. The deposition just keeps going. But the people who understand how it works, they know. They know that the witness has stepped in something brown and smelly, and the process of scraping it off could involve a period of time banging out license plates in the custody of the Mississippi Correctional System.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.